told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the volume, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture me, you got to picture me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for war like I'm Russia, ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling, my neck and my belly on, they call it for me and they, you want me like me and I look, yeah, her Rex on her, yeah, big Rex better calm down, yeah, if you go around, come around, yeah, whole squad, yeah, squad goes on me, yeah, make some orange gel on my toes, yeah, Farrakhan glass for the chosen, yeah, you can go and get mad, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, and who's you, my shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag, something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the volume, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture.
You gotta picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Clothes on these. White paint on my toes. When I send a new bay alert. Don't be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the volume, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, jumping in the bed with
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now a first down throw, Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Back to the air, Stafford on second down. And right away, he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be a
touchdown, Packers. score. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, not a false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
A second down run for Abdullah. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Oh, stays up. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position. Because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last time, but fell incomplete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a 1st down. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Wide open receiver complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 4 catches now on this drive alone. They can't stop him. It's another First down.
All right, now, lucky 56.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw again. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6. Second and goal. Back to throw here. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Mike Evans, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here come the Lions now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On first down, Stafford here. Over the middle, complete. That's Shaw. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Detroit. Golden Tate, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed, because let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. It usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. He has already cracked the century mark in receiving in this opening quarter. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Detroit! Back to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
He'll drop to throw. Found his target. It's Anderson. And for the moment, this will be a first down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll set up a throw. And able to find Green. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Green's first catch of the game. Good for a first down. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The numbers for him from a week ago. 4 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
And you know what he did all week in preparation for this one? Hydrated.
Salivated.
Yes.
Touchdown, Packers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Packers add on to their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Have 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And they begin the drive with a duel. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They could game catch the ball in the backfield a week ago. They're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game. And now the Packers get set to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now he'll escape to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Now back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. They're going to try and throw. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So they take a big, big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the gun, here's Stafford. A dump off for Abdullah. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll drop the throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robbie McLeod. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays you can't account.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. His throw caught at about the 5. 23 yards on the play. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They're going to look to throw. Flushed out right. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. In for the score. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Looking to throw. That's caught. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw is Stafford. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Abdullah. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today is track shoes. Now
a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and the Packers pick it up. He's at the 40, the 20, 10. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. So the turnover forced and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Brandon, remind me again. This is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Stafford, it's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? And Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much during this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He's going to air one out. This is caught. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now, there is a flag down. But I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
He'll look to throw. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it? When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they have the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I love the way you evolve. You know, you learned how to play it the Madden way.
1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Lambeau following these words. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Back to throw here. He's going to rifle one. Touchdown, Packers. In for the score. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes. Someone delivering it accurately. Offensive line giving them time to throw the ball. A true team record. But he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. All right, let's discuss Ameer Abdullah. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Back to throw. Stafford. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
To throw on second down is Stafford. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
On third down, Abdullah. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now it's Lockett. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Second and 10 now from the 27.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll throw now on the final play. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, But also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus. You know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Well, apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting. They go with Abdullah again. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own side.
And we'll see what his offense can do. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Ezekiel Ansah in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. They'll try and throw for it here. Found his target. It's Anderson. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on fourth down. Back to throw now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Darius Slay with a pick. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back.
He's got him in. Complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. It's a big play. Stafford to Tate, 43 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Stafford gives to Abdullah on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Third and long. It's Stafford. Left side here, caught by Clay. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that one will be accepted.
First down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. They'll look to throw here on first down. That's caught right side by Anderson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play. They'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're taking a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. They'll set up to throw. Going for it all. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. They'll look to throw here. He's got Evans. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. To throw again. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. As his guys are in for 6, and the Packers continue to roll. I don't even know to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
And the Lions are able to cover this one up. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it enough.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Room to run inside the 40. And finally, down at the 36-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, and all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Set, 180.
They go back to Abdullah on first. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits. And
rush coming, and he's taken down.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Darius Slay with a pick. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate a ban.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Play faked Abdullah. It's Stanford. And he's going to go down again. Back now at Lambeau. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now back to throw. Flush to his right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try to.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this is going to be Packer football.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive here. Look to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Robbie Anderson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are pouring it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear that?
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah,
fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Set, lady.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive, eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to go up top over the middle, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
All right, now, look at 56.
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Packers on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 17.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Set. 260.
Now Stafford. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Jones. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. But I believe a Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Shaw. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part, because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now second down. Back to throw. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Robbie Anderson with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Packers continue to roll. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And he slings one that's incomplete. They've got this big lead. They said, forget one. We want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
You ready? Yellow 80! Yellow 80!
Stafford on first down. This complete to the tight end, Clay. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off? And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Amir Abdullah, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Lions gain a bit of respectability.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Oh, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
In for the score. And the Packers are pouring it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down.
You ready? You waiting?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this will be incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Going down the middle, and it's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Time for a break. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking middle, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. And Detroit getting set to go now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow him to be...
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him again. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Ziggy Ansah in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. To me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you know...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A first throw now for the backup Roethlisberger. Trying to lay one up deep. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Hey, boys, got 4 down. Set, 280.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
Boom! Yeah, baby. Set, 260.
One last throw here for Stafford. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.